Hey, Janet. So a few weeks ago, we talked to a company that helps businesses create franchises. Well, today I'm going to go the other direction. So this company is a franchise, and I wanted you to get an idea of what that would entail. If you wanted to start a business and you wanted to talk to a franchise, what should you look for? So I hope you enjoy this information. I think it's really good. Hey, Giants, welcome. If you do not know, my main goal with this podcast is to introduce you to people who could help you grow your business. And David Roemer is our guest today. And I think that you're going to really find it interesting as far as like how he's grown his business and the direction he's taken it. So, hi, David. How are you?
I'm great, Lois. How you doing today?
All right. So, tell our listeners a little bit about your journey, please.
My journey, let's see, it's been a long journey. So, look, I started years and years ago. I've been in the restaurant business for a long time and started working in restaurants, managing restaurants, training, that kind of thing. And spent a number of years in the franchise business, right? So, working with franchisees, working for a lot of franchisors and franchisees. I had a franchise of my own for a short period of time and then got back into the restaurant business. But now I'm in the pest control and pest solutions business. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I am the fairly newly minted CEO of Complete Pest Solutions.
So, what led you into pest control?
In all honesty, it wasn't about pest control. It was about the owner of the company
Okay.
and kind of the relationship that we've developed over the last probably 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
Again, a lot of people that I've worked with over the years have left jobs because they didn't want to work for someone else, or they wanted to leave corporate America, or they just wanted to be their own boss, quote unquote. And for me, it's really about the people that I work with, and the mutual respect, collaboration, etc., the value of the divide to each other. And so, Anthony, who owns Complete Pest Solutions, he and I have been talking for the last several years, and it was just the timing was right. Things kind of fell into place. He is great pest business. He knows it inside and out. He's been doing it his entire life. And I know the franchise business. So we're kind of a match made in heaven.
All right. So you've helped this pest control business go into as a franchise. Now, okay, so one thing I read is you did this in 2020. What were you thinking?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Pest control is, I mean, we grew 55% during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is an essential business. We
Uh-huh.
are, in fact, we are officially an essential business.
Okay.
And so, uh, we're going to survive no matter what. You know, people are always going to want to have, if they've got a problem in their house, they want it taken care of. If they got a bum in the business, they need it taken care of. They can't have roaches and pests and bugs and bats in their attic and raccoons in their basement, whatever else it is, because you do it all. And so, yeah, we had our best years during the pandemic.
And that's why I really love working with especially the home service businesses, because it's not something that's going to be replaced by AI. You are going to always have a job.
Absolutely. As long as I do it well.
Yeah.
But you're right. This industry is growing. It's something that, I mean, if you think about it logically, we people need us. They need us, and we keep them safe.
Hmm.
We keep all the things out of their house, out of their business that are going to bring disease and sickness and dirt, all that other stuff, all that not nice stuff that they bring with them. And so we're always going to be here.
All right. So Complete Pest Solutions offers franchising. So you sell franchises to your business.
We do.
Okay. Tell me, what is the benefit for somebody to go in as a franchise owner rather than just starting their own business?
Oh, okay. So, well, I mean, look, you're going to spend the money starting your own business one way or the other. That's just how I look at it. So, with a franchise, it's going to cost you a little bit more upfront. Right? You have a franchise fee. You've got some required startup costs. Our business, for example, there's not a lot. It's not like we have a brick and mortar, right? You can work out of your house. So, startup costs are fairly low. You have the initial franchise fee. We have some initial equipment and materials, dates and sprays and things of that nature. And then, of course, you need to have a vehicle and you need to have a vehicle wrap. But it's not like you're going out and renting a building or buying a building and having to put all that money into it. 150 to $200,000 equipment package like in the restaurant. Um, you're going to spend money if you start your own business too.
Mhm.
You're just going to spend it over a longer period of time because it's going to take you longer to ramp up your business. The advantage of a franchise is we've already done it. We've got the systems in place. We know where to market, how to market, who to market to, all of those things. You know where the customers are. You know how to go out and get them. And we're going to teach our franchisees how to do that. So you're going to be able to ramp up your business a lot quicker and get to profitability that much faster. So yes, you're going to start a little bit more upfront, but you're going to get profitable that quicker than with this thing running low. That's the advantage of franchise.
Okay. So what if somebody's out there looking and they're thinking, okay, I think I would like to join a franchise. What are some things that somebody should look at as far as when selecting a franchise to purchase?
So there's several things, though. It's a great question. One of the things that should, and this is not necessarily in any order, they should look at an industry that's a good fit for them, for their skill set, for their wants and desire. So, for example, if you are not really good at sales, then you probably don't want to do something that's heavily dependent on your salesmanship skill, right? Because you're going to have a long learning curve and you're going to spend a lot of money going through that curve. Other than that, though, most franchise companies are going to teach you the technical side of the business. So, for example, we train our franchisees on pest control stuff, right? How to spray and how to bait, and what to look for, and all the different things that you know. But it's got to be a fit for you, just your natural skills and abilities. If you're an introvert and don't like being around people, again, something that's heavily in sales is probably not a good fit. So that's one thing. The next thing I would say is it's got to fit your budget. So, right, I mean, everything has a startup cost to it. So you got to be able to qualify financially. And every business is a little different. So some businesses like ours are a little bit lower. You don't need as much liquid and net worth, but something like a restaurant is going to require much more liquid capital and a higher net worth. So it's got to fit your financial budget. It's got to be able to provide you with the kind of income that, I mean, initially you're going to want to replace your income if you're leaving a job to start a business, but eventually it needs to provide you with the kind of income that you be able to realize your purpose. And I say that because I don't care what business it is. I don't care whether it's a franchise or just you're starting your own business. Do it because it's going to help you fulfill a purpose, not because you think it's going to make you a lot of money. Money is a byproduct of everything you do. And if you go chasing dollars, you're going to make a lot of bad decisions. So I would say, make sure that it fits your purpose and can provide you with what it is you're trying to achieve in life, your life goals. Build a legacy that provides for your family or turn it over to your kids one day or start a nonprofit or whatever it is that you're trying to do. The other thing I would say is talk to the existing franchisees. That's the right questions. The best question to ask an existing franchisee is, had to do it all over again, would you get in things business? Will you renew when your franchise agreement expires? Right? Will you re-out? That's going to tell you a lot. Nothing is ever perfect. They're gonna tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But at the end of the day, if they would do it again, or they will renew, then it's probably a good business. But most franchisees are kind of funny. They might complain a little bit about this and that, whatever, because we're human. But at the end of the day, if they're accomplishing their goals and you have a good lifestyle, they're putting out. So those are some of the really important. Most franchises are not going to be able to disclose to you how much money you can make because they can't make earnings claim.
Mhm.
But if you ask the franchisees how they're doing, and meeting their financial goal, and what you lay out, yeah, and a lot of those shows do that. Surprisingly.
So what makes your franchise different from other franchises, do you think?
Yeah, another great question. So we do a couple of things differently. One is we're not just pest control, right? We're wildlife and pest control. So if it crawls, walks, swarms on the ground, because we do snakes as well. We take care of it. Flies, doesn't matter, whatever it is. 4 legs, 6 legs, 8 legs, 1,000 legs, we take care of it. So that differentiates us from some of the other pest controls out there, the household brand names that you think. That's one thing. The other thing is, again, we are, as I said before, we're pandemic or recession resistant. I might go as far as to say, is it recession proof? I don't know that anything is completely recession proof, but we're pretty close. So that's another thing. The other thing, and this is going to be touting our own horn a little bit, but the other thing that I like to think makes us different is us, Anthony and I, because we're here to make this brand successful. And we believe that there are three things that really two things that need to happen. The third thing is a result of the other two. The first thing is we have to protect the brand. So we have to make sure that our brand name is protected, people using it correctly, the logo is being used, and, the right products are being used, and the service is great, and the reputation of the brand is great. Because without that, nobody has anything, right? Franchisees don't have anything either. Beyond that, our responsibility is really to help our franchisees achieve their goals, be successful. They define their own success. If those two things happen, then we'll be successful. And it has to happen in that order. Not everybody believes that, right? You got a lot of, again, I'm not a badmouth anybody, but there's companies out there, as we all know. Anytime you have a group of people, you're going to have tiers, right? Um, and so there's companies out there that really think about, are we making money? Are we profitable? And less about the franchisees. And it's got to happen the other way. So we do everything we can to help our franchisees be successful. And that's what I've done for 30 plus years, 35 plus years. Is work with people and coach and help them set goals and achieve goals and be successful. We don't forget about people once they sign their purchase agreement. We think that that's just the beginning. We're a family here. Again, we're not a family-like business, but we act and treat each other with respect and collaborate and do all the things that we are. I guess I would say that we are a people-centered organization.
Hmm. Hey, Jazz, I'll take just a minute of your time and let you know that I'm doing a regular webinar on Wednesdays on how to optimize your Google business profile and what a difference that makes in searches and in AI search. So I'll have a link below. I hope you'll join me. There's like, just a franchise in general, like what are the steps that take to be in a
Yeah,
franchise?
yeah, sure. So there's a number of steps. The first step, obviously, is to do some investigating and, um, figure out which brands you want to even talk about, right? Or talk to. So you might go to their website and check them out a little bit and fill out an application, that kind of thing. You could use a consultant to help you. Consultants are out there. They don't charge you anything. They get paid by us. So when the deal signs, you give them a commission. And so you can go that route. And once you get to the point where you've decided which brand you want to talk to, you have an initial conversation where you start learning about the brand. and the brand will kind of walk you through the process as well. So after the initial conversation, then there's typically a second follow-up conversation to see if there's still interest there. Then we provide you with the franchise disclosure document, which is required by the Federal Trade Commission. And then we'll have a third conversation to kind of review all the information in that. If things are still going well and you're still interested, typically we will then have you start talking to franchisees. And that step is called validation. And that's where you start having those critical conversations. If that goes well and you're still interested, we'll bring you in for a discovery day. And discovery day is really the final stage of the process. You meet the team. Now we take our franchisees out on the road with us a little bit, have them do a visit with our trainer and do a couple of jobs, not do the job, but kind of observe. Uh, we have them sit in our office and listen to the folks on the phone, taking calls and dealing with customers. And we sit down and talk with them. And if everything goes well at that point, then we're ready to sign them up.
All right, so I don't want to make any assumptions, but let's say, all right, the person signed up, they're rocking and rolling, and maybe they're at a growth point where like they need to hire additional people. Do you help in that process as well?
We help them determine what's the right time.
Okay.
We help them by providing them with contact so we have, for example, we have a temp agency that we use. We have a recruiting agency that we use. And we have a contract with them, so they get to share in the benefit of that content. But in terms of the actual hiring process, no, we can't really help them with that. You can provide them with questions that they can ask in the interview process if they never interviewed. You can give them some guidance and some coaching. But in terms of helping them interview and decide who to hire, we really have to keep out of that.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's some joint employer issues with the National Labor Relations Board that are out there. So you have to be careful with that.
Well, that's good to know. Okay. All right. So, what drives you to do what you do? What gets you up in the morning?
What gets me up in the morning is knowing that I'm going to be able to have a positive impact on somebody's day, somebody's life that day, right? My thing is I want to help people be a little bit more skillful, a little bit more knowledgeable, a little bit more able to achieve their goals than they were yesterday. Life is a process. And, we're going to take a step forward and a step forward and maybe a half a step backwards, but we move forward. Overall, we're in good shape. And so, I just I want to help people get a little bit better today than they were yesterday. And I've been fortunate that I've had a lot of people in my life that I've been able to learn from, good, bad, whatever, and what to do, what not to do. And I feel a responsibility to share that. It's kind of like if you fill up a glass of water, you get to the point where it can't take any more. And the only way that glass can take any more water is if you pour a little bit into another glass and give it to somebody else. Now I have more room to learn. And that's just how I look at it.
No, that's great.
That's what gets me up in the morning.
Great. All right. Any closing thoughts?
Uh, I mean, I appreciate, being able to kind of talk. And if anybody is really looking to get into the franchise business, here's what I would say. So there are a lot of books out there that help people, designed to help people find the right franchise for them. Okay. There's probably hundreds of them. There's really only one book that I know of, maybe two, that are designed to help people once they bought the franchise and they're now in it and how do I be successful with this? And the one book is called So You Bought a Franchise. Now what?
That's a good title.
Well, thank you, because I made it up. It's my
Oh,
book. And it's on Amazon and it's been out there for a few years. So, and again, it's about, it's about some things that I've learned, but it also includes a lot of quotes, I interviewed a number of successful franchisees, business people, not just franchisees, but business people, and on different topics, and got their quotes, got their stories, and shared it all in there. So there's a lot of good best practices, success stories. So if anybody's looking to get into business, whether it's a franchise or not, there's a lot of good stuff in there that'll help them. And again, it's not just me; it's all these people that I was fortunate enough to interview and granting interviews and good stuff.
Great. All right, so I'll have that link below so that you can have easy access to that book. And if you like this episode, check out this episode because I think it will give you some great information as well. Well, David, I want to tell you that I really appreciate your time because it really opened up my mind as to the process of franchising and that is a really great idea for some people to step into business with some knowledge from people who've already really accomplished that area.
Yes, you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Yeah. Which I think makes a really big difference because it's a hard world out there.
But that's a true statement.
So,
Awesome.
all right. Well, David, thank you so much for your time. Giants, we'll see you next time.